everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tasha. So if you guys are new here, I always do this little spiel before my college videos, but basically I just graduated from USC, so now that I am a graduate, I feel like I definitely have all the experience needed to give college advice and just kind of go off of my experiences and try to help you guys out. I recently posted a video about making friends in college, so if you guys haven't seen that one, I will definitely be linking it down below. But by far, the biggest question or topic that I get questions about is joining a sorority and everything that comes with being in a sorority, because I was an Alpha Phi. This is like one of the only sorority shirts I still have. Don't worry, I don't wear this around now that I'm graduated, but I actually was merchandise chair for a bit for my sorority, so I did design this. Yes, I copied the Brandy Melville logo, so I kind of half designed it, but I still think it's really cute. If you guys are not following me on Instagram, it is just at Tasha. I post a lot of content on there, not only outfit photos, but all the time on my story and just about my day-to-day life. So definitely go follow me over there. And if you are not subscribed and you like this college advice content or fashion content, just lifestyle stuff, definitely subscribe. It would mean the world to me. Okay, so I have a list of sorority questions on my phone. I did ask you guys to send me your questions on my Instagram, so that's another reason to follow me. I'm always kind of integrating that content into my videos here, but I wanted to answer the questions that people don't really talk about, and I couldn't really do this while I was still in school in my sorority because you're not really supposed to talk about certain things, but now that I'm graduated, I feel free to talk about this stuff, so I'm going to be answering the questions that a lot of people don't really answer. Oh, and one little background note for me is that I did not join a sorority until my junior year because I transferred in spring semester my sophomore year and recruitment was in the fall. So if you guys want to see my whole video about my rush experience, because it was kind of a shit show, I will link it down below. Okay, so the first question that I'm going to answer is one that I just want to get out of the way. It is, how bad is the hazing? / were you hazed? Do sororities really haze? And at least my answer for that is no. We had absolutely no hazing at all. I'm pretty sure none of the sororities at USC haze. I have not heard anything about that, and I know people in a lot of different sororities. And the only hazing I've heard about for sororities has been more like embarrassing stuff, like you just have to wear stupid clothes and like pass out drinks at parties. Like, I haven't heard of anything that would qualify as dangerous. Okay, the next question is, what kind of questions do they really ask you during rush? And obviously this differs depending on who you're talking to, but pretty much in my entire recruitment experience, it was just small talk and just casual conversation. It wasn't anything crazy deep. I mean, I'm not the type of person to really share my whole life story and journey with someone that I don't really know. So maybe that's different for different people, but honestly, like, the person you're talking to is just a normal person. Like, there's a pretty high percentage that they don't want to be there doing recruitment. Like, when I had to do recruitment on the like sister side, when I was actually rushing people, which I only did 1 year, the next year I did like behind the scenes stuff. But when I was doing that, like, sure, it was nice meeting new girls, but I didn't want to be there. Like, I didn't want to be talking to girls for like 10 hours a day. Like, it's just not something that I would like to spend my Saturday doing. So, you know, it's light, easy conversation. You know, when we did it, it was like the beginning of the school year. So it was like, oh, how's school going? Like, where are you living? How are your roommates? Where are you from? Like, just pretty basic conversation. And unless I was paired with the same person more than once, that's pretty much what I would talk to people about on both sides. So yeah, I don't know. For me, it was all very light, easy conversation, but I guess that depends on the type of person you are. Okay, the next question is, how much time do you have to put into it? To be honest, it's pretty much like what you make of it. So obviously in the beginning when I joined, I tried to go to as much as possible, just because the whole reason for me joining was to meet new people and kind of branch out at USC. So I did try to go to the social events and all of that stuff as much as I could, but after I kind of felt comfortable and had made friends, I really didn't go to that stuff as much. Also because I was older, you know, I was in my sorority as a junior and a senior, and just going to like frat events didn't really appeal to me that much anymore. Obviously, the more involved you are, the more people you're gonna meet and the more you might get out of your experience, but I don't think that you have to go to everything. I definitely didn't. And to be honest, I didn't even go to chapter really because I had classes during that. So yeah, I was kind of involved, but I wasn't there all the time, and I think that's totally fine. I think if you're paying for something, then you can be as involved or not involved as you want to be. Okay, the next question is something I get a lot, and it's, is it worth rushing as an upperclassman? Which, like I said, I rushed as a junior, and it was definitely a lot more difficult, I'm not gonna lie, just because you're not as exciting to the sororities. First of all, I'm not gonna lie, like sororities want younger girls because they're gonna have them paying dues and being active in the house for longer. That's just how it is. Also, the girls in your pledge class are most likely going to be younger than you for the majority. For my pledge class, there actually were a good amount of juniors and a lot of sophomores, so I wasn't the only junior, but it is kind of hard to integrate when you are older than everyone in your pledge class. So I would say if you're an upperclassman who's interested in joining a sorority, definitely try it out. But don't think it's gonna be super easy as if you were joining as a freshman, because it's just not gonna be the same. But I do not regret it at all. I made so many friends and I really did enjoy my experience. The next question is, does your Instagram matter? And I got like a bunch of questions about this, like, do I have to have social media to be in a sorority? Do I have to have like a lot of followers to be in a sorority? And the answer is no, but I'm not gonna lie, if you're going through recruitment, there is a possibility that these people are going to look at your Instagram, just because, I don't know, if you want to know more about someone, you go to their Instagram, like that's a thing. So there is a possibility that your Instagram will be looked at. If you have questionable things on there, then maybe go private or delete those. Okay, the next question I'm going to answer is about the cost and if it's worth the money. And this is something that varies from chapter to chapter, from school to school, but I think that USC might be one of the most expensive schools to be in a sorority at, other than like the southern schools. It was very expensive and I was paying my own dues. My parents were not gonna pay my sorority dues. That was all on me. And one of the reasons that I could justify it was I was only going to be in a sorority for 2 years. You know, my junior and senior year, that was it. I think that for USC, I don't remember exactly how much it cost, but it was around $2,000 a semester. So very expensive, and that did include all of the meals. So we had breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the house Monday through Thursday, and then Friday there was like a big brunch lunch sort of thing. It included like fees for cleaning the house, maintaining the house, because at USC we do have Greek housing, so they're all like beautiful houses, whatever. I know a lot of schools don't have housing, so those dues are a lot cheaper because most of the money from our dues was going to maintaining the house. And then those dues also included our social events. So, you know, our like invites or date parties, whatever you guys call them, like getting there, getting to the venue, all of that stuff. So our dues did include all of that, but they're still crazy expensive. And luckily I did have a job and I did have an income from YouTube throughout my experience in college, so I was able to pay those dues. Most people in my sorority, their parents paid their dues, which is also fine. I don't think you should resent someone for their parents paying for things. Like if my parents wanted to pay my dues, I'd be like, okay. But like I said, my parents would not pay my dues, so I totally understand where those of you are coming from whose parents will not pay theirs or don't have a way to pay for theirs. And definitely talk to the person who's in charge of finances in your sorority, because I know they can kind of help you out with that. And then at least for USC, there were scholarships you could apply to that would help pay your dues. So definitely look into that. At the end of the day, I don't think you should join a sorority if you're going to go broke from it, but definitely check out your options and see if there are ways that you could get a scholarship or something like that, because I did meet a lot of friends in my sorority and it was a great experience. But like I said, I don't think you should do it if you're literally gonna go into debt. Next question is, should you live in the house? And living in the house was actually a pretty good option at USC, just because the rent was a lot cheaper than what you would find kind of around. I don't know exactly because I was never interested. There were a few reasons why I personally didn't want to live in the house. The main reason was just because of YouTube. Like, there was only a few singles in the house and one of them was designated for the president, which I would never in a million years do. So yeah, it just didn't make sense for me to live in the house because of that. Most of the rooms were like 4 people in a room, and that's just not gonna happen with filming. But the other reason, especially for me, when I joined, I don't know if I was 21, I think I was like 20, I might have been 21, but you can't have alcohol in the house and you can't have boys in the rooms. I felt like if I was 21, I should be able to make my own decisions and have alcohol where I'm living, but that just wasn't an option in the sorority. And not that I had a boyfriend or have boys over all the time, but if I wanted to, I feel like I should have been able to have boys over. So just living in the house wasn't something that I wanted to do, but I have a lot of friends who did live in the house and they really loved it. And I think it's a good option for sure if it's cheaper for you, or if you want like a big sense of community, or if you want to get to know people in your sorority better. I know it's a great way to kind of get close to and meet a lot more girls from your house. Okay, and I think the last question I'm going to answer is, does joining really make you connections? I would say 100%. At least for our sorority, we had like a group Facebook page, and a lot of times girls would post in there being like, hey, I had this internship last summer. They're looking for a new person. I wanted to reach out to Alpha Phes and see if any of you guys would be interested. So there's stuff like that. And then even just being in a group with so many different people, you know, you're bound to find someone who worked at a company that you might be interested in, or know someone that you would want to speak to. Also, I've noticed if I meet people out and they were in Alpha Phi, we kind of have like an immediate bond, even though that really doesn't make sense. Okay, I think those are all the questions I'm going to answer today. I hope they helped some of you guys out. If you guys have any other topics you want me to cover in these videos, definitely leave them down below in the comment section. And feel free to give your advice about sororities and stuff down there as well, because I love when my comment section is kind of like a big community. As always, I love you guys so much, and stay tuned for my next video. Bye!